4A, Kilgore and Henderson, coming up next in the district opener on Fox 51 from R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium in Kilgore. Sid Allen along with Buzz Long, and welcome to high school football on Fox 51. It's hard to believe it's week 6 of this season, but Buzz, we've got a good one tonight. Everything up to now has been all in preparation because tonight they put it on for real. It's the district opener.
Exactly, and in District 17 4A, there's only 2 teams with a winning record. That's Hallsville and Henderson. And Kilgore comes into this game with a 3-2 record. But that's all out the window. We're playing for keeps. We keep all the marbles. This is the district opener, and it should be a good one, Sid.
The Henderson Lions come into the game. They've been a state-ranked team. They're 4-0-1 on the season, and they're coming in with a little momentum, even though they just tied Marshall last week.
Well, Coach Alexander says his team is getting better every week. They're unbeaten so far, except for the one time they had to blemish their perfect record. They are competitive. As a matter of fact, not only did they hang in there with Marshall in 5A, but in a scrimmage preseason, they did a great job, believe it or not, hanging in there against John Tyler. So they are a potent football team, and they are a pre-district pick to win the district competition.
The Kilgore Bulldogs, on the other hand, lost their first 3 games, but only by a total of 10 points. Now, they've won their last 2, so they also have some momentum on their side, Buzz.
They have a lot of momentum. You see, their coach Valerie said they had some mistakes their first 3 games, and they realized what their mistakes were, and they were turnovers. And when they got those turnovers corrected, they began to build momentum. As a matter of fact, they have won their last 2 games, and like Sid said, the first 3 they lost by only 10 points. Only 10 points. So they're a team on a roll. Both teams are on a roll, and it should be a fine football game tonight.
And one thing that we're sure to see tonight is 2 well-coached teams.
Absolutely. These are 2 of the best coaches in the Southwest. Take, for instance, Mike Valerie from Kilgore. This is his first year at Kilgore, but he is one of the winningest coaches in Louisiana. They got him out of Louisiana and expect big, big things from him. They're mighty proud to have such a coach as Mike Valerie. Now, not only does he have an outstanding record and one of the winningest coaches in Louisiana, but Henderson has one of the winningest coaches in Texas in Dennis Alexander. If you remember back to the 80s, he had a dynasty going in up the road in Dangerfield. And he either won state, was in the playoff, or in the final game almost every game of the 1980 season. Coach Alexander has been here for 7 years now, and he is quite a coach, an outstanding record, and there is no doubt about it that 2 of the finest coaches in the game of football will be on the field tonight, and they're fine people too.
Listen, we got a good one tonight coming up from R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium here in Kilgore. Stay tuned next for Kilgore and Henderson coming up on Fox 51.
It has vents in 22 locations, storage compartments in 12 locations, 10 speakers in 8 locations, cup holders in 14 locations, and lights in over 20 locations. So now you know the secret to the new Dodge Caravan's user-friendly design. Location, location, location. The new Dodge Caravan. Just as original as the original.
You have entered a dimension of sight and sound, a dimension where the past meets the present. You have entered the Video Zone.
Pick up your free membership into the Video Zone and check out the hottest new releases on video. Enjoy the convenience of the Video Zone's movie reservations and drive-through window. On Sunday, bring in your church bulletin and rent 1 movie, get the 2nd movie free. And don't forget, the Video Zone is the official Oil Palace ticket outlet in Longview. Get into the zone, the Video Zone.
I know what you're doing. What? What am I doing?
He's keeping a secret from me.
You know we have a totally honest relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I would give her the world.
I want the popcorn.
I love her more than anything.
Nah, what he loves more than anything is that Pop Secret popcorn.
Every kernel of Pop Secret is picked to pop to perfection. It's one secret no one wants to share.
You know, marriage is a 50-50 proposition, so half that Pop Secret is mine, technically.
We are having some technical difficulties.
From protective gear to uniforms, if it's on the field, Massey & Brown has got you covered. On the court or in the ring, if you need sports equipment, Massey & Brown has got you covered, including all major brands from Nike to Everlast. Let Massey & Brown create a custom design for your team or group with their silk screening and embroidery for hats, sweats, or whatever. No job is too small or too large for Massey & Brown Sporting Goods. When it comes to sports, we've got you covered. 124 Shelley Drive in Tyler.
The battle has just begun.
Missile incoming.
We're locked on. Let's rock and roll.
And the stakes have never been higher.
Sunday night at 6 on Fox 51.
Welcome back to R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium in Kilgore, and you're looking at the Kilgore Bulldogs coming onto the field to face the Henderson Lions tonight. And Buzz, I guess the only thing more exciting in the season opener is the district opener.
Oh, you betcha. This is one we've been looking forward to all year, Sid. It's going to be a good one. Real quickly before the kickoff, let me give the officials. The referee tonight is Terry Edwards. The head linesman is Gary Best. Back judge is Shirley Rose. The umpire, Gary Hetherington, and the field judge will be Billy Ray. They represent the Southwest Football Officials Association. Now here's Sid Allen with play-by-play.
It's going to be Brian Marcotte, number 17, teeing the ball up for the Kilgore Bulldogs. And he'll be kicking to a couple of Henderson Lions back deep, Wayne Blanton, number 21, and number 1, Charles Alexander. So there's Marcotte with it teed up, and we're just about set to get underway.
It's football time from R.E. St. John Stadium in Kilgore.
And Marcotte gets a high end-over-end kick coming down to Blanton at the 12-yard line, goes to his right, finds a couple of blocks, but he's hit right at the 20-yard line on some good downfield pursuit by the Kilgore Bulldogs. Number 83 in on the tackle for Kilgore was Freddie Lolly, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions as we get set to start the first offensive series. And the Lions on offense at quarterback Jason Luce, joined in the backfield by Darrell Garland and Joseph Irvin at the running backs. Jeff Miley and Charles Simpson also on the offense. Tackles are Grand George and Ballinger. Guards are Jones and Glenn. The center is Michael Wells, and the tight end Jim Bob Porter. And on the first down, whoa, all alone, Jim Bob Porter. And the pass all the way down to the 27-yard line is Jason Luce looking over the middle to his big tight end. Found him, Jim Bob Porter streaking. Porter getting up a little slowly, but a big gain for the Henderson Lions to start this ball game.
Watch this replay. Loose back to pass. Good protection. He pulls the trigger on one, complete. What a beautiful pass. This young man is in the secondary all by himself, and it was nothing but daylight, but one of those swift-footed Kilgore Bulldogs finally brings him to the ground.
From the 27, this is Darrell Garland, the tailback, getting across the 25 and down to about the 24-yard line goes Darrell Garland before he's brought down there.
55 yards on that pass and run play. That last one covered 55 yards. What a way to open a ball game. By the way, this is very uncharacteristic of Henderson as they run a lot of power football. They have the I formation, sometimes give you the one-set look, and they run the T. So that was a very uncharacteristic play for Dennis Alexander.
Ball spotted just on the Lions side of the 23-yard line. New tailback into the ball game, breaking clean across the 20 to 15-yard line. And again, some good running room for Charles Alexander as he gets it down right at the 15 is where they'll spot it, and that'll be another first down for the Henderson Lions.
I was going to tell you before the game said, this is Dennis Alexander, Coach Alexander's type of football. When he was up over there in our neighboring friends at Dangerfield, he ran a lot of sweeps just like you're seeing here. He pulls his guard. Everybody in the whole backfield's leading. The cheerleaders, the band, everybody leads the sweep just like that.
And there goes Garland. Power off the left side of the Henderson line inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line. So the Lions now just chewing it up on the ground, and they'll be faced with second down and about 4 from the 9-yard line.
Now they're moving the ball very, very well. as the Bulldogs are holding on for dear life about the 10-yard line. Now let's go with Sid Allen, and he gives us the defensive lineup.
At the ends for the Bulldogs, Jonigan and Turner. The tackles are Lance Freeman and Quentin Bell. Linebackers Smith, Harder, and Henson. And there's the secondary briefly. And Jason Luce handing off to the fullback Davis, and he's going to be stopped for no gain, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Henderson Lions. Let's look at that defensive secondary once again for the Bulldogs if we can, and see who they've got starting in the backfield. At the corners, Marcus Mumphrey and Thomas Haynes, and the safeties, Chris Baxter, the free safety, and Ronnie Nix, a good one. Number 6 is the strong safety for the Kilgore Bulldogs. From the 9-yard line, this is 3rd down and 4, possible 4-point play here for the Henderson Lions as Jason Luce, the quarterback, with the full house backfield, gives it off to the fullback, and Joseph Irvin gets very little yardage. In fact, going to be about 2 yards short of the first down.
I tell you what, the Kilgore defense held well on that particular series. They were in trouble early in this ball game, got down in the red zone within the 10-yard line, and they simply bowled their backs and held on. Looks like a timeout on the field, Sid.
Well, I don't think the coach is very happy with things over on the far side of the field, Dennis Alexander, and so he's going to talk it over with his offense. And he's going to be faced with a 4th down now, 4th down and about 2 when we get back to action. 9 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first period. No score, but an impressive opening drive for the Henderson Lions, mainly thanks to that big first down, first play pass from quarterback Jason Luce to tight end Jim Bob Porter.
By the way, the Henderson Lions returned 19 lettermen tonight. 5 starters on offense and 6 on defense. Henderson was district runner-up last year and had a 6-5 season. And the Lions have gotten better every year. Great play out of Jason Luce, the quarterback, and also a field goal kicker supreme is Joel Griffin. Last year, he hit 23 points after 4 of 5 field goals, so we might see this young man put his toe into the pigskin for the Henderson Lions.
I think the Lions are going to go for it here on 4th down. No huddle as they break from the far sideline with Jason Luce, the quarterback.
Big play.
Garland and Irvin, the setbacks, and Luce is going to pass, being chased. Throws it out in the flat. Incomplete. Intended for Joseph Irvin, and the Bulldogs have held and take over on down.
I'll tell you what, these Bulldogs are fired up. If you can hear this Kilgore Bulldog band section near the Fox 51 skybox, they went absolutely berserk with a beautiful defensive stand by the Kilgore Bulldogs as they take over possession of the pigskin down deep in their own territory.
So a great defensive stand by the Bulldogs, and they'll put it in play just across their own 7-yard line. Their quarterback is Rafe Mata, a 165-pound junior, and he calls the signals on this first play of scrimmage for the Bulldogs tonight on offense. Pitch back, coming back to the right side. This is Mitchell, the tailback, and he stopped for very little yardage. Mitchell, one of the talented running backs that you'll see tonight for the Bulldogs, 175-pound sophomore. As you look at the starting offense for Kilgore, the tackles Charles White and Blake Hughes, the guards Jonathan Cox and Scott Williams, the center is Matt Ford, tight end Daniel Morgan. Rounding out the Kilgore offense, quarterback, as we mentioned, Rafe Mata. Running backs are Kevin Mitchell and Doug Davis. The flanker, J.J. Hablinski. And the split end is Shane Terrell. So that's the starting offensive alignment tonight for the Kilgore Bulldogs. And the lone setback behind quarterback Rafe Mata on this 2nd down and 11 is Doug Davis, the fullback. 2nd down, Mata calling signals, man in motion. Out into the flat. It's a trick play, and the long pass downfield and broken up, but we got a whistle or a flag downfield at the 37-yard line as the pass was thrown by the flanker J.J. Hablinski. And we'll see what the call is. The Bulldogs definitely think it's pass interference, but we have not seen a signal yet.
Some discussion on the field. The Henderson team indicates that the call will go with them, but the officials are up about the 35-yard line discussing all possibilities.
It is pass interference called against Henderson.
What a
play.
play.
That one could go either way, actually, as both players looked like they were going for the ball, but apparently some bumping by the Henderson Lions. Let's watch here as the quarterback Mata flips it out to Hablinski, the flanker, behind the line of scrimmage, and he lobs a deep one. Had a man open, but the pass just a little high, and there's the bumping at about the 37-yard line.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. And what a break for the Kilgore Bulldogs. It could have been disaster deep in their own end of the field, but now they have a little breathing room to operate with.
Gets them out of a deep hole, puts them out at their own 22-yard line with the first down. This time split backs behind quarterback Rafe Mata on 1st and 10 at the 22. Pitching and going to the right, around the left side, breaking across the 25, the 30. This is Zeke Williams, 195-pound senior who had 118 yards rushing last week, picking up good yardage for the Bulldogs as he turned the corner and got it up for good yardage. We'll see what the officials spotted. They're going to put it at about the 29-yard line.
Offensively, the Kilgore Bulldogs returned 2 starters in their quarterback and Rafe Mata and the running back Patrick Williams. Williams won the Newcomer of the Year award last year. He gained 840 yards and scored 6 touchdowns.
Defensive alignment for Henderson, McRae, and Howard. The ends, David Johnson and John Chireau. The tackles as we get back to action. 2nd down and 3 for the Bulldogs from their own 29-yard line. Mata hands off to Mitchell. Mitchell gets it across the 30 and up to about the 34-yard line, and we have a late flag. And that was Patrick Williams, excuse me, not Kevin Mitchell on the carry. So Patrick Williams with his first carry of the ball game. And we'll see what the late flag is here.
Tell you what, these Bulldogs are moving.
Personal foul, face mask, so that's going to be a big walk-off. That's not the inadvertent one. That's the personal foul variety of the face mask. And so a big step off across the 45 and out to about the 49-yard line is where they'll spot it. Let's see if we can take a look at the rest of the Henderson defense starting tonight for the Lions. Linebackers Marcus Hollins and Tim Blanton, joined by Brandon Cooper. And in the defensive secondary, you have Alexander and Blanton on the corners. Damon Reddick and Gabe Edwards are the safeties. So that's the starting lineups on defense tonight for the Henderson Lions. 1st and 10, 2 big penalties on this drive to help the Bulldogs along. This is Mata streaking. He's going to go all the way. Shane Terrell. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
We were in unison. Let's do it again. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Touchdown. How about what? Hey, that's football. These fellas from Kilgore are fired up and ready. What a beautiful pass play.
Shane Terrell, 150-pound junior, just cutting it into the middle on a beautiful pinpoint pass. The quarterback Rafe Mata hit him on the numbers, and nobody was going to catch Shane Terrell.
Yards and penalties, then a 52 TD-yard touchdown strike, and the Kilgore Bulldogs take the scoreboard first.
Brian Marcotte on to attempt the point after for the Bulldogs. Ball is down, kick is up, and it's good. And with 7 minutes, 17 seconds left here in the first period, our score is Kilgore 7 and Henderson nothing. Well, quite a first half of, or first quarter of a couple of plays here, Buzz, and I know we've got lots of good action in store for our fans. So let's take a break here. Again, our score, Kilgore 7, Henderson nothing. We'll be back.
Anything good in here? How about kicks? Those are the ones with the little candies, right? Are they any good? Try some.
Kids like kicks even if it isn't sweet like candy. And moms like kicks because it's low in sugar.
These are really good. Yeah, but they're easier to eat at home.
Kicks, kid tested, mother approved.
You're out shopping for quality name brand electronics, but you're tired of all the high pressure sales? Come to Todd TV and Appliance.
Todd's TV and Appliances and RCA are changing entertainment again. This RCA 46-inch projection TV with all these features is now on sale. Plus, this RCA ColorTrack 27-inch TV is also sale priced.
Personal service without the high pressure. Come see us at our downtown location, Todd TV and Appliance, the oldest family TV and appliance store in Longview.
Quite an opening here in this ball game. We saw Henderson take it the length of the field, stopped on 4th down deep in Kilgore territory, and then the Bulldogs come right back, starting a drive from their own 7, getting a couple of big penalties in the process, but then that big pass play from Rafe Mata to Shane Terrell, and the Bulldogs are on the board first.
By the way, both teams have completed one pass so far in this football game. It's a good one, Sid. Here we go.
This is Marcotte with the kick coming down to Alexander at his 13. Up across the 20, and a good tackle as he gets to the 25. Number 8, Marcus Mumphrey coming in with a good stop that time, and it'll be first down for the Lions from their own 25-yard line.
I tell you what, these Kilgore Bulldogs are fired up and playing tonight. Let me remind you one more time that the Henderson Lions are undefeated. They tied last week with a Marshall team, a 5A team. They're undefeated, and these Kilgore Bulldogs, that doesn't mean a lot to them. This is the district opener, and we have a whale of a football game on our hands here tonight.
Jason Luce, the quarterback. Handoff to the fullback. First man through is Irvin, and Joseph Irvin gets across the 25 to about the 27. Short gain. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, my, what a game. I tell you what, when they start out like this, Sid, you just don't know what to watch for. This is the kind of football that's famous here in the Piney Woods of East Texas. And before this is over, we're going to have many a thrill, I guarantee.
Henderson Lions, as Buzz mentioned, coming in undefeated with that one tie last week against the 5A opponent, and getting blitzed here early in the game, but we'll see if they can put a drive here together. And this is Charles Alexander with a big hole, and Alexander gets it across the 30 up near the 35 and close to a first down. Nice moves that time by Charles Alexander, picking his way. And watch some of the moves here, Buzz.
Absolutely. Now watch the hole. Look at the hole there. A big hole. Fine blocking. And that's one thing that these Henderson Lions can do. They have that big front line. They can open those holes, and they can make a gap that a freight train could run over. And you saw it right there. Good work, offensive line, Henderson.
This is the fullback, and Irvin this time again stopped for short yardage, but that's all he needed. He picked up enough of the first down across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Wanted credit on that run by Alexander, Chris Jones, and Robbie Grandgeorge, left side of the line for the Henderson Lions, pulling to lead Alexander through the hole. And on this play, just short yardage is all that Joseph Irvin needed after that run to pick up the first down, and he does so. So it's a first down for the Lions as we wind down inside of 6 minutes to go in the first period, 5 minutes, 50 seconds left.
That's what you're going to see, a lot of pulling guards, a lot of sweeps with blockers out front from the Henderson Lions.
This is Alexander getting popped and moving forward for some good yardage across the 40, close to the 41, but good second effort that time by Charles Alexander. He was hitting the backfield but kept his momentum moving forward to pick up about 4 yards.
You'll see the give to the deep man in the I formation. Good hold once again, but this number 9 for Kilgore was there to stop that play. Torrey Henson was there. Good defensive effort. Once again, there was a great hole opened by the left side of that Henderson Lion offense.
2nd down, 6 just across the 40-yard line. Garland back into the game, and he gets the handoff, and he's popped right at the line of scrimmage. Darrell Garland going nowhere. Torrey Henson once again in on the stop and helped out by Lance Freeman, defensive tackle for the Bulldogs. So no gain on that play, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Henderson Lions.
By the way, Kilgore's Ronnie Nix has great size in the backfield. We'll talk about him just after this play. See the hole, deep man in the I formation, gets the ball, but that one's diagnosed very well by that number 9, Torrance Henson. Good defensive play, Kilgore.
Loose, trying to loop a long one, has a man downfield, but good coverage, and it's picked off by Mumphrey at the 35 across the 40. Midfield, good blocking ahead, penalty flag down, and going out of bounds. Finally down at the 15-yard line, but we got flags all over the field after that interception by Marcus Mumphrey.
Wait a minute.
I believe the interception's going to stand. It looked like the flag was on the blocking downfield, so I think it's going to be a clip or something like that, but I believe the interception will stand here.
We'll see as the official picks up the ball. Our Gary Heatherton, this official, picks up the ball, marches backwards from the line of scrimmage, and looks like it's going to be a, 5-yard penalty assessed against the Kilgore Bulldogs. So they do remain in possession of the football. Here's the pass interception. If you can see it, the receiver actually just fell down going for the ball, and Mumphrey made a super effort in getting high in the air. And after he got the football, some fine running. Let's just keep our eyes on Mumphrey and watch him skirt down that sideline. Look at him go. He is a football player. Kilgore Bulldogs, they're on the march. Amazingly well they're doing in this first half of football from R.E. St. John Stadium.
at the 47-yard line is where the officials spot it after the penalty. And this is quarterback Mata looking deep, has a man streaking downfield, and just past the outstretched hands of J.J. Heblinski, covered well downfield by Damon Reddick for the Lions. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Kilgore. Good pass play that time, and actually the flanker Heblinski had his man beaten, Buzz.
He sure did, and I'd like to credit Rafe Mata for a beautiful fake. My eyes and half of the stadium stayed with him, and all of a sudden, you know, he had the football to throw it, and everybody thought that he gave to the short man the dive on the dive play, but it was a beautiful piece of fakery by quarterback Mata there.
Patrick Williams is the tailback, along with Doug Davis, the fullback, in the backfield behind Mata. This is Davis in motion, and the pitch back to Patrick Williams around the left side. Good blocking. Davis up ahead of him, and good yardage across midfield into Henderson territory inside the 48 at about the 47.5-yard lines where they'll spot it. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 5 for the Bulldogs.
Well, the Kilgore Bulldogs had a wall to the left, had some blockers out there, but Gabe Edwards simply eluded the oncoming Henderson Lions and made a fine defensive tackle. So the Kilgore Bulldogs are moving the ball across midfield on about the 48-yard line.
Big 3rd down play for both teams. Lone setback is Zeke Williams behind Mata. This is Mata with the pass out in the flat. It's complete, but quickly up Charles Alexander from his cornerback position to make the stop on Patrick Williams. So it's going to bring up 4th down. He's about 3 yards short. And watch this hit, a good pass play, but good defense by Alexander out on the corner.
No question about that. There's plenty of time for the quarterback to set up, but this young man, number 1, Charles Alexander, was all over him like a coat of paint. He was sticking to him. It was a good defensive effort from the secondary there, bringing up a 4th down for the Kilgore Bulldogs.
Bob Arnold is the punter for the Bulldogs. The line of scrimmage is the 46-yard line. He'll get this off from about his own 45. Charles Alexander, the lone setback, and a good high kick that Alexander fields at his 15. No, he lets it go, and it's down. Boy, interesting decision there by Charles Alexander. He looked like he almost touched the ball, but he did allow it to go, and it bounced free at the 15 where Kilgore downed it. So the Lions will put it in play deep in their own territory at their own 15-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, they're going to be operating without the field position, very poor field position. And so far, I would have to say, because of penalties, it looks like the breaks have gone to the Kilgore Bulldogs. But who knows? Henderson comes out. They're ready to get in this ball game.
2:40 left in the first period, and Darrell Garland lines up as the I-back and gets the handoff across the 15 and up till about the 19-yard line is where he's brought down. So a pickup of 4 that time for Garland. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Lions. Jason Luce again, the quarterback for Henderson. A good one he has been. You know, he hadn't played football in 2 years, and when he came out this year, they didn't know what to expect, but he has just done a whale of a job as the Henderson Lions quarterback this year. 2nd down and 7 from the 19. This is the handoff to the fullback. Breaking free is Irvin, and getting across the 25 up near the 29-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for the Lions. Good running room that time for Joseph Irvin, the fullback.
Joseph Irving took advantage of some fine blocking over on the left-hand side of the line there and simply shot the gap and got into the secondary. Watch this run, just a thing of beauty. The way he moves into the secondary after he shoots the gap and gets some extra yards when he's into the secondary. Good run, credit Irving.
That was a good shoestring tackle by Ronnie Nix to bring him down. 1st and 10 at the 29. Handoff loose. This is Irvin once again, and Irvin breaks it across the 30 up near the 35-yard line. Stopped by Chris Baxter, the linebacker, on the far side of the field at that point, but a pickup of about 5 yards that time for Irvin. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Lions.
Well, they've got some houses in the Lions' backfield there, that's for sure. They can operate with that football, and they're very quick, very fast. And this big offensive line of Henderson is just awesome as they open these holes up for the running backs.
Luce, the quarterback, gives it off to Garland. No running room. Garland hemmed in. Now tries to go the other way. Has a wall if he can get past these Kilgore defenders, but he can, and he's dropped for a big loss back at the 23-yard line, trying to reverse his field. And the Kilgore Bulldogs slap him down for a big loss.
Well, that's simply aggressive defense, and these Kilgore Bulldogs are very quick. This is a running back with the football, and some of these 200-pound linemen were able to penetrate and actually chase him down. Watch him as he's in trouble deep in his own backfield, and he's got Kilgore all over him as some of these guys actually chase him down way deep for a tremendous loss.
Torrey Henderson, we've called his name several times already, finally bringing him down. And now it's a 3rd down and about 18 coming up for Henderson, and movement in the backfield. We're going to get a motion penalty, as looked like Joseph Irvin thought the play had already been whistled dead, but he got up and moved, and the procedure penalty is going to go against the Lions. That'll set them back 5 more yards inside their own 20 now.
Well, that was a weird play. Kilgore Bulldog jumped over across no man's land there, but actually the ball wasn't snapped, so he simply got back on sides, but that threw off the offense as the offensive player over there responded and thought the play was dead. He stood up, and when he did, that's a motion call, 5 yards against Henderson.
3rd down coming up, 3rd and 20, as Luce looks downfield, has a man open across the middle. The ball is batted short of the intended receiver by Chris Baxter, number 88. Charles Simpson, the intended receiver, and was open, but the pass a little low allowed it Chris Baxter to get his hands on it, and it falls incomplete. So with 1 second left in the period, the Lions are going to have to punt.
Well, this Charles Simpson ran a beautiful pattern as he simply cut down, went in, and he was an awesome figure right in the middle of the secondary. The ball, though, didn't quite get to him. It's a 4th down.
Jason Luce, the quarterback, also the punter, will get it away on this last play. High snap, still gets it away. It's a high short kick that bounces at the 40, and the Lions down it at that point. And when we start the second period, the Bulldogs will have excellent field position. So that's the end of the first period of play here from R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium in Kilgore with our score. The Kilgore Bulldogs 7, the Henderson Lions nothing.
Beginning this Saturday, nothing is sacred, and no one is safe.
I believe we're going to have to get medieval on your buttocks.
When Mad TV comes to Fox.
Houston, we have a problem.
Late night Saturdays, get ready to laugh.
To paraphrase the great Bruce Willis, yippee-ki-yo-ki.
And follow the crowd.
Saturday night at 10 on Fox 51.
As a rule, engines develop good torque only when you push hard on the accelerator. But even at idle speed, a Dodge Magnum V8 can pull this loaded Ram 1500, and this loaded 2500, and a loaded 3500. 15 tons. That's because every Ram truck has to pull more than its own weight, even at idle. That's our rule.
The Texas Truck Stop, your friendly Dodge dealer.
If it's time you got into the computer revolution, then it's time for you to get into Best Buy. Because this week, all computers are priced at just 9% over cost or less. Every computer, every monitor, every notebook, and even every printer. This week, they're all just 9% over cost or less. Plus, make no payments for 6 months, which means getting into a new computer is as easy as going to Best Buy. Your computer revolution headquarters.
Are you aware of the fact that you've got a tail light out back there? I'm going to need to see your driver's license and your proof of insurance, please.
When you need insurance fast, call QuickSurance. We provide insurance for all drivers and all cars, and there's no down payment.
Okay, well, let's keep that insurance current, get that tail light fixed, and have a nice day.
We can't do anything about your tail light, but we can help you get insurance quick. Call QuickSurance now. Offices in Tyler and Longview.
Well, back at R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium, begin the second quarter. And Buzz, let's pay mine to our sponsors for tonight's ball game.
Betcha. These are the community-minded folks that pay the bills, and we appreciate them. The Video Zone, Massey & Brown Sporting Goods, and Todd's TV and Appliance. Thanks a lot. We appreciate you fine sponsors for sponsoring this game on Fox 51.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Rafe Mata, the quarterback, hands off to the second man through. This is Williams, getting down inside the 40 to about the 36-yard line for a pickup of close to 5 yards. Number 3, the running back, Patrick Williams. We have a pair of Williams for the Bulldogs. Zeke is number 24. Patrick, sophomore, is number 3, and that was Patrick that time.
Well, Patrick gets the ball deep in the backfield, cuts to a pattern, a kind of a crossing pattern, a little misdirection there, goes in the secondary. Did you hear the Kilgore band just then said? Did you realize that high school bands, 80% of the songs they play are from the 50s and 60s? And I think that speaks well for my generation. They were playing Rockin' Robin. Do you remember that song? Say yes, Sid.
Yes, Sid.
Thank you. Back to football.
Mata, the quarterback, the 36, fakes the handoff, looking downfield, has a man open, wings it, and it's complete. Good pass that time by Rafe Mata as he zipped it into Shane Terrell, already with a touchdown reception tonight, and now he's got a first down reception. Watch the way Rafe Mata zips this one, Buzz.
And watch the receiver as he ran a beautiful pattern down and then just ran a hook about 5 to 8 yards in the secondary. Good protection, excellent protection, but just an athletic effort on behalf of the young man from Kilgore, Texas, to complete that pass play.
You know, these Bulldogs last week had over 300 total yards in the second half in their ball game, so they can move the football, and we're watching it tonight here in the first half. They've had some offense. Around the right side, Patrick Williams gets inside the 30 and inside the 25, down to about the 24. We do have a flag down on the near side, and we'll see what that call is, but a pickup of about 4 yards that time by Patrick Williams, and let's see what the officials call here. The referee says illegal procedure against the Bulldogs will nullify the gain by Williams and step off 5 yards against Kilgore.
Well, by the way, Patrick's father, Ricky, is here tonight, and he hadn't got to see his son play too much because he said he works late, and I promised Ricky that I'd say hello, and hello, Ricky. We appreciate the fine job that Patrick's doing on the field tonight, and so glad that you got to see your son play. He's a buddy of mine, and want to say hello to him as he watches his youngster from Kilgore in the backfield there, Patrick Williams.
Well, he missed his son with a big game last week. Patrick had 83 yards on 9 carries and scored 2 touchdowns as the Bulldogs beat Athens beat Liberty Alu 35-7 last week. First and 15 for the Bulldogs at the 32 of the Henderson Lions. It's the draw play. Going around the left side is Kevin Mitchell, and Mitchell, another sophomore running back, picks up about 3 yards down to the 30, and it's going to bring up second down and a long 12 coming up for Kilgore.
Well, that play was a thing of beauty. Watch the offensive line there of Kilgore. Look at the hole there. Look at it. They held their blocks, giving Kevin enough time to burst through there. Good effort on behalf of the left side of the Kilgore Bulldogs. They not only opened the hole, they held their blocks, giving the running back time to burst through there. Good blocking, Kilgore Bulldogs.
But a good defensive play by Brandon Cooper, the middle linebacker, also for Henderson on that play. Second down, 13 we'll call it for the Bulldogs, and Mata straight back to pass. Wings it out in the flat, across the 30, the 25, inside the 20, and Zeke Williams this time, the 195-pound senior, picking up almost first down yardage, and perhaps he did right at about the 18-yard line is where the officials say he went out of bounds. Watch Mata just wing it out to the side here.
Good protection. He sees his running back in the flats. Pitches over to him, and when he gets that football, he's able to move. Got a couple of contenders about the 20, and he burst down to about the 18, about the, let's make it the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-yard line, or thereabouts, as he simply ran very well after he received that little pass from his quarterback in the flats.
And Kilgore is going to take a timeout with 9:35 left in the ball game. They'll be facing a third down and less than a yard. I'm surprised a little bit that they're not going to measure here because it looks awful close. We got a great crowd, by the way, who made the trip up 259 from Henderson, about 20 miles down the road. A lot of Henderson Lions fans here, and they're here to watch their unbeaten Lions tonight.
I'd like to say hello, if I can, Sid, if you would allow me to another young man from Henderson territory. His name is Joel Hale. Joel is the principal of Henderson High School, and he happens to be a fine fellow because he's kin to me. No, don't tell him I said that, folks from Kilgore. He's my brother-in-law. Hey, don't forget next Friday's game. It's going to be a big one. Lufkin versus Tyler Lee. We'll be in Rose Stadium, Sid. This is going to be a fun one as we get the opportunity to travel to Rose Stadium and Tyler with Lufkin and Tyler Lee.
Well, you know what? They did come out and measure.
Oh, they did measure.
While we were away on that break, and they're about the length of the football short of a first down, so that's what it's going to be, 3rd down and less than a yard for Kilgore when we get back to action. But good crowd from Kilgore here, obviously, at the on the home side of the field. Lots of red. They come out in red to watch their raging red Kilgore Bulldogs.
You know, these Kilgore fans take their football very, very serious. There's a fine tradition in football right here in Kilgore, Texas, and not only have many great games high school-wise been played here in R.E. St. John Stadium, but also the Kilgore College Rangers play here. This is a historic field for football.
3rd down, less than a yard. Rafe Mata trying to sneak it, and Henderson Lions ganging up on him, but he just needed a couple of inches, and I believe he got it. 1st down for the Bulldogs. Keeps the drive alive deep inside of Henderson territory.
Oh my, they're marching. That 1st down is very, very important as they retain possession of the pigskin and march forward. And if they are able to get on the scoreboard again, it'll be amazing, because there's no question, there's no secret about it. The Henderson Lions were picked to win this district, the 4-0 undefeated Henderson. So it's these Kilgore Bulldogs, they said, the heck with the figures. We're ready to play some football, and they're moving.
Zeke Williams, the lone setback behind quarterback Rafe Mata on 1st and 10, and Williams gets the handoff, going to the right side of the line, off tackle, gets it down to about the 15-yard line, so he picked up about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. You know, tomorrow here, one of my favorite teams is going to be performing. That's the Kilgore Rangerettes.
Yes, we're all fighting Rangers, fighting for the victory.
I brought it up.
Running pals, kicking pals. I'm an alumni, don't you see? Well, I did go to school there.
That's just great.
Well, I did visit the Rangerettes a couple of times.
2nd down coming up and 8 for the Bulldogs at the 15-yard line. Rafe Mata setbacks Patrick Williams is the deep back, and his cousin Zeke up in front of him. And this is Patrick Williams straight up the middle across the 15, may have gotten down to the 14, but that Henderson Lions defense, the middle of it, stacking him up for very little gain that time, and we've got a big 3rd down and 8 play coming.
Oh, big one. By the way, Sid, I'll get off of this, but you brought it up. You realize in the early 60s, I was the voice of Gussie L. Davis, Kilgore Rangerettes. Are you impressed? Say yes, Sid.
Buzz, you're a wealth of information.
I work cheap. That's what I'm talking about, don't you see? Oh, boy, I'm having some fun tonight. I'm having much fun as if I had good sense here, Rusty.
3rd down, big 3rd and 8 play for the Bulldogs. Mata looking to his left, now over the middle, completes the pass.
Touchdown!
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 J.J. Hablinski hung on as he was belted right at the goal line, but he kept his hands on the ball and went in for the TD.
What a football game. Can you believe this? I wouldn't believe it. 13-0 with 7:45 remaining in the first half of play. Whew, very few people anticipated a game like this. It should have been a close one. Maybe the nod would be to Henderson, but Kilgore is in this game big time, going for that 14th point now.
Brian Marcotte will attempt the point after. Ball is down, kick is up, and this one's going to be wide left. But nevertheless, the Kilgore Bulldogs, on the strength of the passing of Rafe Mata, have taken a 13-0 lead. So with 7:45 left in the first half, our score, Kilgore 13, Henderson nothing. We'll be back.
Back in 1895, this was a traffic jam. Stress was something you put on a rope. And doing lunch meant gathering over a bowl of Wolf brand chili. Today, on our 100th anniversary, that famous Wolf brand recipe is still the original. A unique blend of spices and good lean beef. 100 years of the same authentic taste. Now that's progress.
Neighbor, how long's it been since you've had a big, thick, steaming bowl of Wolf brand chili? Well, that's too long.
From protective gear to uniforms, if it's on the field, Massey & Brown has got you covered. On the court or in the ring, if you need sports equipment, Massey & Brown has got you covered, including all major brands from Nike to Everlast. Let Massey & Brown create a custom design for your team or group with their silk screening and embroidery for hats, sweats, or whatever. No job is too small or too large for Massey & Brown Sporting Goods. When it comes to sports, we've got you covered. 124 Shelley Drive in Tyler.
You may just have...
No.
My wife
is the most stunningly beautiful, loving, giving person.
He's laying it on thick now.
Unselfish, self-sacrificing.
Almost as thick as Pop Secret lays on this movie theater butter.
Say she found some great new thing. She'd share it.
No way I'm giving up one of these big buttery pups.
Pop Secret Popcorn's new movie theater butter. Every kernel drenched in buttery splendor. It's one secret no one wants to share.
Did I mention she was selfish?
First touchdown pass was Mata to Terrell. And now watch this one coming up. And watch the excellent reception by J.J. Hablinski right here.
Look at the time Mata has in backfield. Oh, what an arm. Right down the middle. Pow! Touchdown, Kilgore.
So the Bulldogs, somewhat unexpectedly up 13-0 here, almost midway through the second period. It's 13-0 Kilgore on top, and Brian Marcotte, as you look at Rafe Mata right there, the quarterback who already has 2 touchdown passes to his credit this evening. And Marcotte, number 17, will do the kicking. That's Wayne Blanton, number 21, one of the deep backs, along with Charles Alexander at the top of your screen for Henderson. So the Lions finding themselves in the unaccustomed position of being 2 touchdowns behind as Marcotte approaches the ball. High end-over-end kick coming down to Blanton at his 14-yard line, gets across the 20, trying to find some blocking and wedges it out across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
Did you see that wedge they had built down the middle? That was
a lot
a thing
of players
of beauty.
right in the middle of the line there.
A thing of beauty on that return by Henderson, as they had built a V-wedge down right down the middle and simply pushed Kilgore back to across the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
Good field position for the Lions, and they need to get something going here midway in the second period. Quarterback Jason Luce at the quarterback position, hands off to Garland, his tailback, and we got a flag, and that's going to be a face mask violation. I don't think there's any question about that one.
Well, he simply tried in desperation to bear hug it. The Henderson Lion there and got his hand around the face mask. Don't know if it'll be the big kind or the baby kind. We'll see. Watch it on the replay.
The inadvertent kind. Watch right here as he just grabs the face mask. Ooh, the Henderson or the Kilgore fans here on the near side disputed the call, but I don't think you can dispute that.
Oh, wouldn't they? If it went the other way, the other team would too. We're moving. 7:25 remaining. 7:24 in the first half of play. 13-0 with the Kilgore Bulldogs are owning the score of 13. But here come the Henderson Lions.
Ball spotted just short of the 40. It's first down and about 3 for the Lions following that face mask violation. And this is Garland now in at fullback. And Garland, who's switching off between tailback and fullback, this time gets it up to the 43. And that's going to be a Henderson first down.
By the way, this quarterback for Kilgore that threw the touchdown strike a while ago, Mata completed 36 of 98 passes for 670 yards and 5 TDs. So he's an experienced quarterback. We'll see him on offense, but right now the offensive effort belongs to the Henderson Lions.
Davis in the setback along with Irvin. This is the pass attempt by Luce and broken up, batted down by a big sophomore, Jason Jonigan, number 99. Just stuck his big paws up there and batted that one down, Buzz.
Jason Jonigan showed a lot of savvy for a sophomore player, any high school player, as he not only beat his block, penetrated, but as you noticed, he put his hands up. He put his hands up, and he's a tall figure, and simply he was so stretched out that the pass was knocked to the ground. Great defensive effort. Watch him here as he stretches out way up there and gets the ball, knocks it to the ground. Great defensive effort.
It's good instinct that time by Jason Jonigan, 2nd and 10. Loose, the handoff. This time it's Garland, and Garland gets it up near the 45-yard line and then pushed back after a short gain of only about 2 yards. So it's going to bring up third down now, 3rd and about 8 for the Henderson Lions, and these Kilgore Bulldogs are playing some defense too.
Oh, they're fired up. Both teams are fired up tonight, but said these Kilgore Bulldogs have determination, and it seems like Mr. Momentum is on their side too, as they're holding defensively. A big 3rd down play here.
Ball spotted just short of the 45-yard line, and Jason Luce on a 3rd and passing situation, looking to the near side, has a man open but overshoots the intended receiver Charles Simpson, and once again that Bulldog defense is held and forced the Henderson Lions into a punting situation.
Boy, these Kilgore Bulldog fans over here simply raising a ruckus. They're very excited and proud of their defensive effort, and they let it known. They let it be known here at R.E. St. John's Stadium. 4th down.
Jason Luce is the punter, standing back at his own 33. J.J. Hablinski is the deep man for Kilgore. Left-footed kick, and Hablinski signaling for the fair catch and bobbles it and then falls on it at the 25-yard line. So the Bulldogs get the ball back and put it in play at their own 25, 1st and 10.
Well, he hung on to that pigskin, but that could have been disaster as he momentarily bobbled it, but was able to hold on to it. So that sets the Bulldogs up with a fresh set of downs on the 25-yard line with sub 6:03 remaining in the first half of play. Here come the Bulldogs.
Rafe Mata, the quarterback, with 2 touchdown passes already in this ball game, brings the Bulldogs up to the line of scrimmage for this series. Long count in, split on both sides of the field. This is Mitchell trying to get outside on the right. Tries to turn the corner in. Good second effort, gets it across the 25 up to the 28. Looked like he was hemmed in back at about the 23-yard line, Buzz, but second effort allows him to pick up about 5 yards there.
Oh, that's determination. That's when you want it. When you run like this, you want to win the football game. Watch him as he's accosted back near the line of scrimmage, and simply sheer determination, athleticism, bring him forward for another yard, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards. But finally, he's knocked out of bounds. Great run there.
Second down for the Bulldogs from their own 28-yard line. High in the backfield behind quarterback Mata, and this is the handoff to the first man through. This is the fullback, and Zeke Williams gets it across the 30 up to about the 32-yard line. So we'll pick up of about 4 more as the Bulldogs churn out the yardage here on the ground.
Well, it's a great crowd here tonight. We certainly appreciate all of the people who come out to support high school football here at East Texas. We're seeing the Kilgore Bulldogs. By the way, you can see the Massey Brown Fox skybox just as we pan past it, and you see a sea of red shirted fans from Kilgore, and across the way also the Henderson Lions are well represented. These people like quality football, and they're seeing it here tonight.
32-yard line, 3rd down and a long 2 for the Bulldogs as they try and keep this drive alive. And Patrick Williams, no place to go, as the Henderson Lions defense, when it needs to, rises to the occasion and drops Williams for a loss of about 3 yards.
I think that was number 40, Jason McRae, that made that tremendous stop given to the deep man. Look at Jason as yes, he had penetrated. He beat his blocker, shot the gap, and he was in there to stop that one before any effort as far as forward progress could be generated.
Bob Arnold is the punter, and now we've got a whistle and flags, and illegal procedure is going to be the call against Kilgore. So that's going to, didn't see what happened there, but the referees certainly did, and that's going to back it up 5 more yards.
Well, depending on the punt, this should give the Henderson Lions some good field position as their player Charles Alexander is lining up to receive the ball back on his own 45-yard line. Henderson should come up with respectable field position from this particular series of plays.
They sure need to get it in before the halftime interception or
good
intermission.
Punt.
Good punt, high punt that Alexander fields at his 48, but nothing there. And now we got a flag down on the far side of the field. Kilgore Bulldogs all over Charles Alexander. Let's see what the call is on the far side of the field, right at the 49-yard line.
Torrey Henson, number 9, is the one that led the charge, assisted by a couple of other those red jerseyed Kilgore Bulldogs, but seems like there's an infraction of the rule here. The officials are discussing. Face mask is going to go against the Bulldogs. That will be, let's see how many, probably inadvertent 5 yards.
5-yard inadvertent face mask. Puts it at the 46, so excellent field position. Let's see if we can see this face mask violation toward the...
There it is. There it is. It was inadvertent, but nevertheless a face mask penalty.
This is Irvin, the fullback, and Irvin gets it across the 45 down to about the 42-yard line. Pickup of about 4 yards for Irvin. Joseph Irvin, who his coach Dennis Alexander calls the most solid of the Henderson Lions running backs, picks up about 4 yards on that play. 2nd down and 6 for the Lions. This time they're going to split 2 receivers on the near side of the field and I in the backfield with Irvin. The I back behind quarterback Luce, and Irvin gets the call, finds a hole on the right side of the line and gets it inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. So the Lions, as the clock winds down here in the first half, 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go, trying to get it in for a score as they trail 13-0 to the Kilgore Bulldogs.
Well, this is the type of football that Coach Alexander from Henderson is famous for. Ball control, pulling, simply going into the secondary, destroying the defenders, running over them, and just moving the football 4, 5, 6 yards per play.
Jeff Miley split to the near side of the field on 3rd and 3, and loose hands off, and Irvin has the big first down as he crosses the 35 and gets down close to the 32. Despite a great tackle by the Bulldogs, Irvin picks up the first down.
Let's see if we can catch the number of this guy that made this tremendous hit. There's Irving as he goes into the secondary. That's number 6 for the Kilgore Bulldogs, Ronnie Nix. Ronnie is a hoss back there. He's a great one, too. Beautiful hit, Ronnie Nix. First down, Henderson Lions.
33-yard line, loose. Fakes the pass, pumps once, going deep, all alone, down deep. Touch, no, he dropped the ball. Charles Simpson had it and couldn't bring it in right at the goal line. He was all alone down there, and it just goes as a long incompletion.
Well, it was almost a touchdown. He was intimidated by the secondary, by the defensive secondary, and he simply, I guess, just took his eyes off him momentarily. Almost had it, but couldn't control it because of the intimidation by the secondary there. It goes as incomplete.
Second down. That was Marcus Mumphrey, by the way, defending and probably just distracting Simpson a little bit. Now here's Luce, back to pass. Looking out to his right, has a man. This is Irvin. Cuts back and is dropped at about the 21-yard line. That'll be enough for the first down for the Henderson Lions as Jason Luce hitting his tailback out of the backfield.
Good protection. Look at the time. Look at the time Luce has. He sees his receiver, throws a wobbly pass, but still it's complete for a first down. And not only is it a first down, it also stops the clock as the clock shows 2:13 remaining in the first half. It's an ally of the Kilgore Bulldogs at this point.
At the 21, this is Irvin, big hole on the left side, and he's smacked good just short of the 15-yard line. And guess who? Number 6, Ronnie Nix, coming up to make the stop.
This Ronnie Nix is a hard-nosed football player. He's in that secondary when he smells the football coming his way. Watch out! Boom! There you go. Look at Hicks' hit. Great hit. Henderson owns that ball. Less than 2 minutes to go.
2nd and 5 at about the 17-yard line as Henderson trying desperately to get it in before we take a halftime break. And this is Irvin getting it down close to the 15. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Whew. Is this a big play or is this a big play coming up?
Minute 25. Coach Dennis Alexander is not a happy man, Buzz.
He's not a happy camper. He's telling it like it is, as Aaron Neville would say over there. He's telling his folks. He said, look here, fellas. We need to get in that end zone before halftime. Help me here, fellas. Help me.
By the way, Coach Alexander earlier this season picked up his 200th career coaching victory. Second game of the season, I believe. He had 198 coming into the season. And Mike Valerie, who we mentioned a little bit ago for Kilgore, this is his first year as head coach, having come over from Ouachita High School in Monroe, Louisiana. And he's doing a great job here after a couple of early season losses. In fact, 3 losses to start the season by a grand total of 10 points. His Bulldogs have rallied for 2 wins in a row and have the Henderson Lions on the ropes here in the first half. 13-0 Bulldogs leading as we have a minute 25 left when we get back to action, and a big 3rd down play will be coming up for Henderson. 3rd down. They'll need about 5 yards.
This is going to be a monster play, I tell you. You know, I'm going to echo your sentiments when you talked about these 2 coaches as we did in pregame. These are probably 2 of the finest coaches in the entire Southwest. The Valerie from Louisiana, one of the highest rated coaches in Louisiana before he came to Kilgore last year. And Dennis Alexander, a legend in these parts. This is it.
3rd and 5 coming up for the Lions. Jason Luce fakes the draw, looking into the end zone. Across the grain, hits his man, and it's a first down near the 5-yard line. Great pass play and a good read that time by the quarterback, Jason Luce, to pick up that first down pass play.
Jason Luce had some pressure on him, so he simply rolled out to the right, thus avoiding the rush, and was able to complete that short pass, but it's good enough for the first down. 1st and goal.
And now the Bulldogs want a timeout. with 1:15 left to go in the first half. So the Lions keep that drive alive. Let's watch this pass play here from Jason Luce as he rolls to his right and looks towards the end zone and then decides to pull it down and throw it across the middle.
Yeah, that was a good move, getting outside of the onward rush of Kilgore. That's all he needed, was sufficient yardage for a first down, and they got it. Beautiful play there as quarterback Luce threw one right where it needed to be for the first down.
That was Brandon Cooper who made the reception for Henderson. Kind of hard to see from way up here. They're at the far end of the field from where we are, and Brandon Cooper made a good play that time to pick up the first down for the Lions.
I'd like to thank our sponsors while there's a lull on the game here. The Video Zone, Massey Brown Sporting Good. They make the Fox Sky Box available, and Todd's TV and Appliance. Thanks a lot, sponsors. They're civic-minded, community-minded folks that are interested in our young people, and they are big supporters of high school football here in East Texas. Again, thanks to our sponsors as we look across the crowd over toward the Henderson side of the field and see the huge crowd that's traveled here from Henderson, Texas.
Last week, Jason Luce passed for a touchdown. We mentioned a little while ago that he hadn't played football in a while, but he's come into this season and passed for 500 yards and has been a big man for the Lions offense. And now he has a couple of big plays. There's a fumble in the backfield as the pitch back to Irvin is bobbled and Kilgore ball.
What a break for the Kilgore Bulldogs.
So they stop this Henderson Lions attack once again deep in their own territory. The second time tonight that a Henderson drive has been stopped inside the 10-yard line.
I'll tell you, these breaks have gone in Kilgore's favor every time tonight. Absolutely. Look at the replay here. Flumber, the ball's on the ground. Oh, who's in there? It's number 6 for the Kilgore Bulldogs. That's Ronnie Hicks. He recovers. First down, Kilgore Bulldogs.
And now with 1:09 left in the first half, we'll see if the Bulldogs can run out the clock. Quarterback Mata hands off to the second man through. I believe this is Kevin Mitchell across the 10 up near the 12-yard line before he's brought down. Kevin Mitchell, number 2, a 175-pound sophomore, wedging it out. And the clock is winding down as we're at 50 seconds, so time for about one more play probably here in the first half,
well,
unless there's a clock stoppage.
Excuse me, Sid. Kevin was real smart on that play. He hugged that ball when he got it. They don't need a turnover, and he held on to the ball and was bear hugging it with both hands.
Now Patrick Williams has come into the ball game as the I-back behind quarterback Rafe Mata on 2nd down and 8. And this is Patrick Williams finding a hole on the right side and wedging it out for a couple of more up to about the 13-yard line before he stopped. And this is going to bring up 3rd down, and unless the Henderson Lions stop the clock, we're going to run out of time here in the first half. And that is indeed what's going to happen here at R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium in Kilgore, Texas. It's halftime, and our score, the Kilgore Bulldogs 13, the Henderson Lions nothing, as you watch the Bulldogs lead the field. A successful first half for them tonight, and an impressive first half for the Bulldogs as they lead a very powerful Henderson team into the locker room. So we'll return for some great halftime entertainment. Our score, Kilgore 13, Henderson nothing.
You know, if you were to look for something really delicious here in Nature Valley, it would have the flavor of fruit, not fat. That's it. Look right there.
Ah.
A low-fat, chewy granola bar with only 2 grams of fat. Luscious fruit taste. Chewy granola.
Mmm.
It's like finding a candy bar with the flavor of fruit, not fat. You can find it here in Nature Valley.
You have entered a dimension of sight and sound, a dimension where the past meets the present. You have entered the Video Zone.
Pick up your free membership into the Video Zone and check out the hottest new releases on video. Enjoy the convenience of the Video Zone's movie reservations and drive-through window. On Sunday, bring in your church bulletin and rent one movie, get the second movie free. And don't forget, the Video Zone is the official Oil Palace ticket outlet in Longview. Get into the zone, the Video Zone.
There's a lot
to like about the all-new Ford Contour? Like standard dual airbags, a safety cell body structure, and boron steel door guard beams for greater protection. And right now, get a well-equipped 95 Contour for $229 a month with Ford Credit's red carpet option. Just $229 a month for the all-new Ford Contour. See what you like about Ford Contour at your Texas Ford dealer today. Hey!
Frigidaire Gallery. With sculpted shapes and artful contouring, you've got to see it, especially now.
Hi, I'm Glenn Todd from Todd's Heating and Appliances. I would like to invite you to come see the full line of Frigidaire and Frigidaire Gallery washers, dryers, refrigerators, and ranges. That's Todd's TV and Appliances, 407 East Method here in Longview.
It's halftime at R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium in Kilgore. The Kilgore Bulldogs on top of the Henderson Lions, 13-0. You're watching the Henderson drill team, and we're going to go down to the field and catch some of their action along with the Henderson band. So let's go down there right now. You're looking at the Henderson band, and we're about to be entertained by them after a good performance by the Henderson drill team. Again, our score at halftime, 13-0. The Kilgore Bulldogs on top of the Henderson Lions. Sid Allen and Buzz Long from R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium, the district opener for both teams here in District 17 4A, and an exciting first half of action. And you're about to see some exciting performance from these young band members from Henderson High School. So let's go back down to the field and see the Henderson High School marching band. Great performance here at halftime by the Henderson High School Marching Band. As good a marching band as you'll see in East Texas. 13-0 our halftime score. The Kilgore Bulldogs on top of the Henderson Lions. And we're going to be back to R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium for a halftime interview and a look at the Kilgore Marching Band and Drill Team. Stay with us.
On an all-new Baywatch.
You're Mike Love, right?
Yeah. The Beach Boys hit the shores of Malibu.
Hey now. Well, it's a love thing.
To spread their good vibrations for a good cause.
And he's here to ask us if we do a benefit concert.
Really? Who's it for?
Surfrider Foundation.
It's rock and roll to the rescue.
The Beach Boys!
Next, Baywatch.
Saturday afternoon at 4 on Fox 51.
You know, if you were to look for something really delicious here in Nature Valley, it would have the flavor of fruit, not fat. That's it. Look right there.
Ah.
A low-fat, chewy granola bar with only 2 grams of fat. Luscious fruit taste. Chewy granola.
Mmm.
It's like finding a candy bar with the flavor of fruit, not fat. You can find it here in Nature Valley.
Well, we've got a whale of a halftime show going on here at R.E. St. John Stadium as the Kilgore Band is on the field now. Before we go down to the band, we've got a good friend of mine for many, many years, the former mayor, Bob Barbie of Kilgore. And Bob, welcome to the Fox Skybox, and we've got us a football game here, haven't we?
You bet. Thank you, Buzz. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a very exciting time for I know, everybody on this side of the stadium, and very excited, and we're glad that you all are here, and thank you for this time for this interview.
Well, thank you, former mayor. We always enjoy coming to Kilgore, and I can brag on you just a little bit, Bob, since I've known you most of my life. Bob, you were responsible and had a great part in the reconstruction of a lot of the oil derricks and also the lighting, the Christmas lighting. And I want to congratulate you. As a kid, man, I used to come to Kilgore, go by Merritt Tool and look at all the beautiful oil derricks, and I'm just real proud of your efforts, Mayor, in this behalf.
Well, thank you, Buzz. It's just something, another way that we can try to bring back our heritage, something that we're very proud of, and we can enjoy, as yet people that can come back to Kilgore, as well as anyone can enjoy these views any time of the year, and especially around Christmas time.
Well, thank you, Bob. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot. You know me. I wouldn't do that. I would never do that, would I, Bob? Say no.
No.
Okay. What's going to be the final score? Who's going to win this football game? I want the mayor, the former mayor of Kilgore, who's going to win this football game? Listen closely, folks.
Kilgore has got to win it, okay? I mean, it's great when we can be in at halftime ahead, and we're going to go on. All these kids are playing so hard.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bob Barbie, the former mayor of Kilgore, Texas. Appreciate what you've done for this community and for East Texas, Bob. And now the Kilgore Band is performing on the field. Let's go down to the field and pick up some of that great halftime activity by the Kilgore Bulldog Band.
I thought you called my name.
Great performance by the Kilgore High School Band, and stopping by our Fox Sky booth tonight, the very distinguished president of Kilgore College, Frank Thornton. And Mr. President, I tell you, great performance here at halftime, but you got a lot of exciting things going on at Kilgore College, don't you?
It really is, Stan. We're so proud of Kilgore College this year. We have many very good things going on. We have homecoming coming up right away. We have a good theater production underway, and we're having a good football season. And, of course, we're always proud of our world-class Rangerettes.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the football team, because they got a big game tomorrow coming up, and the Rangerettes are going to be out here performing.
They're going to be out here performing. Trinity Valley's we don't know how we're going to do, but we're very hopeful. If we did as well as we did last week, it'll be all right.
Tell us something about the college itself, your enrollment this year, and maybe any new things or new programs you got going.
Kilgore College has got about 4150 this year in enrollment. We're down slightly, but we're very encouraged. We have a lot of good students, representative of our area and our district. Some of the things that we're looking forward to is an internet grant. It's going to help us improve our computerization of the campus. We've established the Kilgore College Foundation. We're now ready to receive monies from the public for the well-being of Kilgore College and for the advancement of our program. We had a conference on the 9th this last Monday, in which we had building bridges of learning, and we were talking about workforce development and building partnerships with the community. So we're excited at Kilgore College.
Now, I got to do one thing here. I've got to do my Chamber of Commerce work, and tell us a little bit about that branch you have over there in Longview. That's a great addition to that community.
It really is. We're very proud of that. You know, we have a new dean, Dean Gregory Powell, over there. We've got a good enrollment this year, some 1,500 plus over there, and programs are going on in Longview, and we're looking forward to working with the Longview Partnership and working for the advancement of Longview in any way we can.
Listen, we appreciate all your work at Kilgore College. We appreciate your efforts, and we want to thank you for stopping by.
We appreciate Fox 51.
Great.
Thanks. Okay.
President of Kilgore College, Frank Thornton. We appreciate him coming by, and we're going to come back here to R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium and pick up the second half of action. It's Kilgore on top of the Henderson Lions by a score of 13-0.
From protective gear to uniforms, if it's on the field, Massey & Brown has got you covered. On the court or in the ring, if you need sports equipment, Massey & Brown has got you covered, including all major brands from Nike to Everlast. Let Massey & Brown create a custom design for your team or group with their silk screening and embroidery for hats, sweats, or whatever. No job is too small or too large for Massey & Brown Sporting Goods. When it comes to sports, we've got you covered. 124 Shelley Drive in Tyler.
The preceding arguments for sliding doors on both sides were brought to you courtesy of the new Dodge Caravan. Just as original as the original.
Great first half of action at R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium. Sid Allen and Buzz Long just about set to get the second half underway. And Buzz, take a look at the stats for us.
Let's do that. Let's go with the rushing yardage. Henderson 71, Kilgore 36. Passing yardage 73 for Henderson, and Kilgore has 78. Attempted and completed. Henderson has attempted 6, completed 3. Kilgore attempted 5, completed 4. Total yardage, pretty even, 144 for Henderson, and Kilgore has 114 yards. Turnovers, this has been a big part of the ball game. Henderson 2, Kilgore has played error-free football with no turnovers. First down, Kilgore has 6 first downs, and Henderson 6 first downs and Kilgore 3. All in all, it's been a very, very close football game in the yardage, but I think the big thing, Sid, has been the 2 turnovers that the Kilgore Bulldogs have been able to capitalize on.
Well, definitely turnovers a big factor there in the first half. And, you know, I want to mention one thing before we get totally away from halftime. Golly, you know, that Henderson band, the Kilgore band and drill team was fantastic. The Henderson band tonight marched 303 students out there. That's as many as you'd see like with the University of Texas or my favorite band, the Going Band from Raiderland.
That speaks well for their program, and the young people are involved in their school, and I think that speaks awful well of both communities. You know, it's funny about these turnovers because this is the very thing that has hurt Kilgore. Their first 3 games were losses by only 10 points total, but the problem was turnovers. They corrected their problem. They saw it, they corrected it, and they won the last 2 games. And turnovers this game have gone in their favor, and they own that 13-0 score. And anything can happen, Sid. These Lions from Henderson are awesome. Anything can happen. We've got a ball game.
Well, let's not forget what happened last week when we did Gilmer and Dangerfield, and it looked like Gilmer just had that one totally under control at halftime. It was 19-0, if memory serves. And boy, we came out in the third quarter, and Dangerfield just lit up the scoreboard and looked like they were going to make a game of it. Gilmer finally won the ball game, but Dangerfield really made a game of it early in the third quarter. So that could happen here also, and we'll see how the early action shakes out here in the third period as Patrick Williams and Kevin Mitchell are the deep backs for Kilgore, who will receive the kick tonight, and Joel Griffin to start the second half will boot it away for the Henderson Lions.
I'm ready for some football on Fox 51. Hold on to your seats. Here we go. Second half of football from R.E. St. John Stadium. It's going to be a fun one, you all.
Looks like Griffin is going to kick it straight on, perhaps, and we don't see this very often if that is indeed the case.
Could it be an onside? What do you think, Sid? We'll see in a second. He's going to kick it away.
Left-footed boot comes up short. This is Hablinski at the 30-yard line. J.J. Hablinski only returns it 5 yards, but good field position for the Bulldogs to start this second half from their own 35-yard line on the short kick. J.J. Hablinski fields it cleanly and returns it 5 yards.
I guess the theory behind that kick was to keep the ball out of the hands of those speedy returners for the Kilgore College. Make some of the up man get it, penetrate down, and stop the forward progress before it goes too far. But it backfired as the Kilgore Bulldogs come out from the 35-yard line.
Rafe Mata, the quarterback, to start the second half. He's gone all the way tonight for the Bulldogs on 1st and 10 at the 35, and this is the fullback Davis, and Davis with no place to go finally fumbles the ball, and the whistles have blown it dead, but let's see what the call is.
It's dead. Henderson is walking away rather rejectedly. They thought they had the ball there, and it was very, very close. It could have gone either way, but it's blown dead. Kilgore remains in possession.
Might not be able to tell here because I don't know if you can hear the whistles, but he did fumble the ball while he was still up in the air, I believe. Right there, it's loose.
Yeah, it looks like
the whistles had blown.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like his forward progress was impeded. He was simply standing still, and evidently on the field the whistles blew. Kilgore, they still own the ball, 35-yard line, calling a 2nd and 10 this time.
Second down, Rafe Mata, split backs now behind him in motion. Comes Williams to the near side, and Mata straight back to pass, looking to his left, over the middle, has a man open, Hablinski, and just over his outstretched fingertips, J.J. Hablinski had gotten behind Gabe Edwards, but the pass just a little too tall, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 11 for the Bulldogs.
Well, Hablinski ran a beautiful pattern. He went down, streaking down the sideline, then cut in toward the middle of the field, and the ball was there. He had beaten his receiver, but if you watch, just a little bit too tall. Good pattern, good position on his defensive man there, but it goes for an incomplete in the record book. 3rd down and 11.
Ball spotted at the 35. The Bulldogs need to get to their own 46-yard line. Zeke Williams is the lone setback on this 3rd down play, and Mata back to pass, flares it out to Williams, looking upfield, tries to cut back into the middle and is brought down by a lot of Henderson Lions, led by the middle linebacker Brandon Cooper. Going to bring up 4th down, so the Lions are going to get it back here early in the 3rd period and try and get back in this one.
Well, I'm sure Coach Dennis Alexander has talked to his Henderson Lions at halftime and made them aware of the score, and so they come out fired up on defense, and they're going to get respectable, excellent probably field position from Kilgore as they kick off on 4th down. The punt
Bob
on 4th.
Arnold will kick it away for the Bulldogs. Gets a wobbly kick off the side of his foot to the right and takes a great bounce for the Bulldogs inside the 20, inside the 15, and goes out of bounds at the 11-yard line. And I think if the Henderson Lions had that one to do over, they'd go after that ball, as the deep return men just watched that one bounce, and it took quite a bounce, about a 30-yard improvement on that kick.
You know, little things like this can destroy momentum. Let's see if it does or not. Due to the fact that they had the defensive effort going there, they stopped the Bulldogs, and then a break like this with a tremendous roll could actually affect momentum. Let's see what happens right now with the Henderson Lions as they come out poised and ready on the 10-yard line.
Jason Luce, the quarterback, from his own 11-yard line, 1st and 10, and the handoff is to the fullback, and this is Irvin, Joseph Irvin, the first man through, gets it out to about the 16. Picked up close to 5 yards that time. Good hole over the left side of the line, and Irvin able to pick up some pretty good yardage.
Well, that's simply determined running. As this fullback hit in the middle of the line and had Bulldogs all over him, but simply able to move forward on individual effort and pick up those 4 or 5 yards that Dennis Alexander's team is famous for almost on every play.
Chris Davis in at fullback, ahead of Irvin in the backfield behind quarterback Luce, and this is the handoff to Irvin, and again the interior of the line and finding some running room. Irvin gets it up to about the 19-yard line, going to bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Lions.
Well, the hole closed quickly then. Not much forward progress. Going to be short of the 1st down, but the defensive effort was supreme as they closed the hole quickly and didn't allow Irving to get into the secondary for additional yardage.
So an important play here early in the third period, 9:01 left to go in the third period on the Henderson Lions' first possession in the second half, trailing 13-0, and lose the quarterback on the delay. And we got a whistle, and coming down is Garland. I thought we might get a face mask there, but no call as Garland goes down for no gain back at about the 19, is going to bring up a 4th down punt for the Lions, and on to kick it away will be Jason Luce, the quarterback for the Henderson Lions.
Ethan Harter, number 33, made a fine defensive stop. He impeded the forward progress and slowed down the movement and able to bottle up the Henderson Lions. It's put down. They're going to kick it away.
J.J. Hablinski is the deep back for the Bulldogs, standing at midfield, and Luce, left-footed kick, gets a wobbly high one that Hablinski feels at the 47 of the Lions and cuts it up the middle and gets it down to about the 43. So great field position here for the Bulldogs as we...
What I know about business, I learned from my dad and my granddad. If you treat people right, you may have a customer for life. And that's what I want. It feels so good to put someone in a new car or truck and to make them happy. That's what this business is all about, doing everything you can to make your customer happy.
At Lively in Longview, we want to be your car company.
What's for dinner? Got it. Hamburger Helper Stroganoff. I'm gonna make a real good, feel-good meal. It's gonna have some good old family appeal. They're gonna love it, a home-cooked meal. Hamburger Helper makes a real good, feel-good meal.
Rich Hamburger Helper Stroganoff with real sour cream.
Make a real good, feel-good meal.
8:05 left third period as the Kilgore Bulldogs take over at the Henderson 43-yard line on their second possession of the second half. And Luce, the quarterback, spins and pitches back to Mitchell, and Mitchell gets it across the 40, and some good second effort by Kevin Mitchell gets it inside the 40 to about the 39. Second down coming up now for the Bulldogs, and they'll need about 6 yards.
Well, that Kevin Mitchell was grinning, grinning, and spinning as he came across the yardage marker there. The no man's land lineman of scrimmage. He had up a head of steam and was moving like a gnat as he jitterbugged through there.
Second down, 6. Ball at the 39-yard line. Split backs now behind the quarterback, Mata. And the spin and the handoff coming around the right side. Patrick Williams, no place to go. Henderson Lions jamming him up there. And number 40 leading the way for the Lions on defense that time. Jason McRae making the stop. Good blocking, but McRae clogged it up and led the defense.
Well, it was an absolute supreme effort there on behalf of the Henderson Lions. Brandon Cooper was in there also to stop the forward progress. That was a wonderful defensive effort by the Henderson Lions as they hold on for dear life on the almost the 40-yard line in their end of the field.
Now the Bulldogs need to get down to about the 33-yard line of the Lions on this third down play. They're just inside the 40. Mata, good pressure, throws it out on the left side, and it was knocked down on the way to the intended receiver, Shane Terrell. So 4th down coming up for the Bulldogs, and that Henderson Lion defense is held, and they'll get the ball back.
Well, one of the big reasons that ball did go incomplete was the rush, a vicious rush by David Johnson, number 33. He got all over Luce. Luce just had to get rid of the ball in desperation. Goes his 4th down. The Kilgore Bulldogs will kick it away.
No deep backs for Henderson as Bob Arnold will kick it away. And let's see here if this is a good decision or not. A good kick by Arnold takes a Kilgore bounce and downed at the 8-yard line. So Buzz, 2 punts in a row, and I don't know if the Henderson Lions made the right call or not, or either one of them. Putting nobody back this time, they're going to have to start this series at their own 8-yard line.
You know, sometimes you're just doing something right. I mean, the ball bounces your way, and it's bounced their way. on a couple of these plays. The punt on the other one ran down to the 11-yard line. This time the punt is near the 10-yard line, and so the ball is bouncing tonight in favor so far of the Kilgore Bulldogs.
6.5 minutes to go in the third period. Field position definitely in favor of Kilgore here in the third period. This is loose, looking to throw the long pass to Simpson. It's intercepted. What an interception by Marcus Mumphrey. Well covering Charles Simpson downfield, and Marcus Mumphrey went up for that one and pulled it down at the Henderson 36-yard line. Quite a play, the second interception of the evening for Marcus Mumphrey.
I tell you, these Kilgore Bulldogs are sky high. Watch the pass by Henderson. He sees his intended receiver downfield. Mumphrey's there. Watch him go high in the air. He gets the pigskin. What an interception. Marcus Mumphrey, Kilgore Bulldogs. Here come the Bulldogs.
As good an interception as you'll see. And Rafe Mata now has the Bulldogs in excellent field position once again as they'll start this drive at the 36 of Henderson. Zeke Williams, the fullback, gets the handoff, hurdles a man and gets down close to the 31-yard line. And Zeke Williams with a good move to pick up about 2 extra yards. Last week, Zeke Williams ran for 118 yards on 11 carries, and when you see a move like this, you can understand why. He is very agile.
Very agile, and you don't see anyone fake a football better than Mata did on that time. That time, a misdirection play went in the hands of his running back, and he fooled a lot of folks with simply expert ball handling.
2nd down and 5 coming up for Kilgore. This is Patrick Williams around the left side, but nothing but Henderson Lions. Look at those Lions in pursuit, dropping Patrick Williams for a loss this time, back to about the 34-yard line.
Well, these Henderson Lions are very swift. They move quickly. They beat their block, able to skirt out into the sideline area there and stop the forward progress. Simply hustle determination on behalf of this defensive unit of the Henderson Lions, as you saw them go out to the secondary there and stop that forward progress of Kilgore.
Damon Reddick came up from his safety position. He was one of the Lions in on that play. 3rd down, ball at the 34-yard line. Now the Bulldogs need to get down to the 26, so it's 3rd and 8 coming up for Kilgore. And Mata, halfback pass coming up. Patrick Williams looking downfield, has a man all alone, but sails it way over the head of J.J. Hablinski. But he was, oh man, there wasn't anybody within 20 yards of Patrick Williams that time.
Well, it was a little bit out of desperation and a little bit out of determination, but he sold that one. When you're trailing back against that and he's going to throw the pass, you have to sell it. They want it to look like a run. And look at the pursuit of the Henderson Lions. He sold it, and he had a man in the clear, but in desperation, he had to get rid of it before he got clobbered, and so it went nowhere. But what a superior play. If he could have just got that football down to his man, no one around him.
Well, our hats off to the Henderson defense. They have really had some poor field position here in the 3rd period, and they've stopped Kilgore once again, and they're slowly but surely creeping up the field as this punt by Bob Arnold goes out of bounds at the 19-yard line. So Henderson definitely improving on field position with this possession. Will put it in play 1st and 10 from their own 19.
You know, for the rest of this football game, I think one thing that's going to be very important is conditioning, because it's a vicious battle down in the trenches as those two Lions meet. The Henderson Lions and the Bulldogs meet in the trenches, and the one that wins the battle in the trenches will have a big part in winning this football game.
Here's Garland, the tailback, and you're going to get a flag here, no doubt about that one, as Darrell Garland was being pulled down by his face mask that time, and you're going to get some type of penalty. This is going to be the big one, 15 yards, personal foul. I don't know how many face masks or near face masks, but this is the serious kind, the personal foul that draws a 15-yarder
Yeah,
here.
this is not the baby. This is the big daddy here. 15 yards on that particular face mask. And, you know, those things are dangerous. Of course, it's not intentional, but in their exuberance, sometime one of these players will grab a face mask, and this can seriously injure a football player. So the officials are wise to stay on top of this and make sure that the injuries through the face mask is held to a minimum.
Well, this definitely gets Henderson out of some very poor field position and gives them a 1st down at their own 38. And just as we say that, the left guard for the Lions, jumped, and he's going to be penalized. The Lions are, I should say, 5 yards back to their own 33 as you get the illegal procedure call.
Yeah, a little movement on the left. He got just a little bit anxious. The defensive lineman in front of him jumped. See the jump? Well, that was enough to get the offensive lineman to move as you see him stand up there. And, of course, your men on the defense can come in as long as the ball isn't snapped. They can move, but that offensive line can't move or it's a motion penalty, which you just saw.
So the ball backed up at the 33, and this is Irvin, who carries the ball a lot tonight for Henderson. Gets it across the 35 up to about the 38-yard line. So picked up just about the yardage they lost on the penalty, and it'll be 2nd and 10 as you look at Joseph Irvin, a real workhorse of a running back. Runs at both fullback and tailback, and has done a good job tonight for Henderson.
This game is moving fast. The third quarter is rolling along. It's a fast one tonight.
Loose, back to pass, looking on the near sideline. Has a man open and hit him in the numbers, but Charles Simpson had a tough catch to try and make there as it looked like his feet went out from under him and tried to snatch it as he was going down, but it falls incomplete.
Still a nice pattern. He went out to the flats, then cut to the left just about the sideline there and goes down to the ground in desperation to catch that ball. Falls incomplete, but this was a good effort as he came back for the football, and this is something that is very important, to come back and protect your quarterback to receive the ball if he's in trouble and needs to get rid of it quickly, as the Henderson Lions needed to do that time.
Well, I know Coach Dennis Alexander is trying to find anything that will work on offense, and he's got a big 3rd down play coming up here on 3rd and 10, and Jason Luce over the middle, incomplete. Had his man, and number 86, Brantley Jackson, had it in his hands and couldn't bring it in, and we've got an injured player for Henderson. It's Paul Ballinger, offensive tackle, who hasn't gotten up.
Well, this receiver down here is a big target, and Luce pulls the trigger on it. Wow. Goes in his hands. He just couldn't hold on. There was Bulldogs all around him. Incomplete pass. Let's hope this young man is not hurt too bad as he lays out on the field this time. Let's hope he's able to get up and walk off under his own steam.
That's Paul Ballinger, 6'3", 275-pound senior offensive tackle for Henderson. As you look at the Kilgore Bulldogs on the near side of the field, what a game they've played tonight, as we're 3 minutes 28 seconds left to go in the 3rd period, and the Bulldogs on top 13-0, and Paul Ballinger is being helped off. It is his left leg that is injured, and we can't tell if it's it could be a cramp or it could be a sprain or a bruise or something. We won't speculate at this point, so we'll get back to action, and it's going to be 4th down for the Lions, as once again that Bulldog defense has bulldogged the Lions and forced the punting situation. Jason Luce, the quarterback, will be punting it away, and J.J. Hablinski will be the deep man for Kilgore. 3:28 left to go in the 3rd period, and boy, the Henderson Lions, Buzz, have to find a way to put some offense together.
Well, like you said, Coach Dennis Alexander is trying everything. Nothing's worked yet, but they've got to get back in this football game.
Luce gets a high kick away, a wobbler that Hablinski fields and hits his knees at the 34-yard line. So again, pretty good field position for the Kilgore Bulldogs. They've had it their way here in the 3rd period, unable to put any points on the board, but they certainly have not been operating out of the shadow of their own goal line like the Henderson Lions have.
Right on. I want to say something nice about this Kablinski. This kid has got guts. He stands right in the middle a couple of times on those punts with the Lions all around them, and he's not intimidated. He's got sticky hands. He catches the football, and he's held on to that ball nicely and done some real fine work as receiving the punts on 4th down for Kilgore.
Zeke Williams. Now we got 3 wide receivers in a tricky formation out here on the near side. Let's see as Mata spins and hands off, and Zeke Williams is going to go, I think, across the 40, the 30, and finally dragged down at the 25-yard line. Zeke Williams dragged down by Damon Reddick, but what a run, just split the seam right up the middle, Buzz.
And you know what did that? These said, as you mentioned, these three flankers absolutely blew the mind. See the three flankers on the left? They blew the mind of the defense. They said, well, you know, they weren't prepared. They were expecting some kind of a trick play, and they run a simple dive pattern there and for 40 yards, and it was those receivers set over there that confused the defense and sprung this young man for 40 yards as the Kilgore Bulldogs are marching down the turf at R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium in Kilgore, Texas.
Ball spotted at the 25-yard line, so the Bulldogs with 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in the third period, threatening once again, following that big run. This is Ronnie Nix, big lad. Nix in the clear inside the 15 to the 12. We got a flag down in the middle of the field, but Ronnie Nix, man, he's a hoss, 215-pound senior, got some running room. And this one's going to go against the Bulldogs, so that effort by Nix will go for naught, and he's limping just a bit.
You know, this is the danger of the sweep here. You see the blockers out front, but since you have so many blockers out front, there's so many opportunities for an illegal block, a clip, and it's very difficult not to. It's a technique that Coach Alexander has used successfully for Henderson, and Kilgore used it successfully, but it's difficult when you have your blockers out front to avoid that clip or an illegal block.
Well, that was a holding call. As you look at Ronnie Nix going over to the near side, we said he was limping slightly, and first down and long yardage for Kilgore, and this time the handoff is to Patrick Williams. Room on the left side across the 30 to 25, crosses the 20, and still going. My goodness, he wouldn't go down. Patrick Williams, I thought he was down once or twice, and finally corralled out of bounds at the 10-yard line. What an effort by Patrick Williams. A 165-pound sophomore picked up the first down yardage.
Well, he last year was the newcomer of the year in District 17-4A, and watch him here as he moves across the middle, cuts to the outside, and simply outruns 1, 2, 3 of those defenders. No way he could move on. Finally, he's knocked out of bounds. Just fine running there, Patrick, and I know Ricky's proud of you. Your dad on that, but good job done.
Kilgore Bulldogs banging on the door once again just outside the Henderson 10-yard line. Rafe Mata hands it off to Davis, the fullback, and Davis plows down inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Good blocking on the left side of the line by the Kilgore Bulldogs, and Davis picks up about 3 yards.
Let me tell you something right here, Sid Allen. This Henderson Lion defense are stubborn. They specialize in the red zone of stopping the oncoming offensive team. So let's hope that this play will be, you know, one that they can hold on to because they're determined and they have the ability and the talent to stop this on-rushing Kilgore team. But let's see what's going to happen.
Full house backfield behind Mata, the quarterback, from the 8-yard line. This is Zeke Williams. Zeke Williams gets it inside the 5, close to the 4-yard line. Going to be third down, about 3 for the first and 4 for the touch.
I tell you what, if Kilgore scores on this possession, it's going to be difficult for Henderson with 1 quarter remaining in this football game as time goes down 110, 109, 108 in the third quarter. Because Dennis Alexander kind of football is ball control. They're very, very effective at running the ball, but it takes a lot of time. And if you get behind by that kind of score, you've dug yourself a hole, my man.
Ball spotted at the 5. They can make a first down just inside the 1-yard line. Again, that full house backfield. Mata, the quarterback, spins, looks in the end zone, throws, touchdown.
Touchdown.
He crossed them up and went to the air for the touchdown. Looked like number 82, Daniel Morgan, brought it in. And that makes it a 19-0 ball game with 38 seconds left in the third period.
Sid, will they go for 2 here? What do you think? That'd even the score up in the event that the Lions did generate some activity and get back in this ball game.
Well, I think they will, and that's because of the missed extra point following the second touchdown. The Bulldogs will go for 2 here with 38 seconds left in the third period. 19-0 Kilgore on top late in the third period, and Mata looks to throw. Havlinski.
2 points.
J.J. Havlinski.
Wait a minute. Hold everything.
Got a flag down back at the 3-yard line. Let's see what the call is.
It's against Kilgore.
And this is going to back the Bulldogs up and might change their strategy just a bit. Referees discussing it.
Said it was like this. What does that mean when he pats himself on his head?
They may have had an ineligible player downfield.
Or maybe his head itched, or who knows?
I don't think that's a penalty, though.
Oh,
Buzz.
okay.
And they are going to bring on the kicker, number 17.
Ineligible receiver. You're exact. Hey, you were on top of that, Sid Allen. Ineligible receiver right here in the book. Good call, Sid.
Well, I read that book. Do you not read the book, Buzz?
What? Read? I've been going to night school, Sid, but I don't really, read that well.
Brian Marcotte now to kick the point after. J.J. Hablinski to hold. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good.
Yes.
So the Kilgore Bulldogs really defying all odds tonight with 38 seconds left. And the state-ranked Henderson Lions have their hands full as they'll really have 1 quarter of action left to try and close this 20-0 gap. And watch here as quarterback Rafe Mata finds that receiver, number 82, Daniel Morgan, a 180-pound junior, for the touch. And 20-0 Buzz Long. Who would have thought it?
Who would have thought it? And I tell you what, it's a good thing Mata got rid of that ball when he did. That was excellent timing. He had a split second because the Lions are breathing down his neck, and if he hadn't have thrown that then, it would have been something. Let's watch that touchdown. That's a thing of beauty. Let's see if we can pick up the touchdown play by the Kilgore Bulldogs. Here's loose back to pass. Pressure on him. Has a receiver. Mata, correction. Mata, he has a receiver in the end zone, and it's complete. It's going to be tough with 38 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's going to be a tough road to hoe for these Lions, but don't count them out.
Well, it's going to be especially tough without any offense. They got to find a way to crank some offense into this game. Of course, they've been backed up severely here in the 3rd period with some very poor field position, but they've been unable to move the ball. And Coach Dennis Alexander has tried a lot of ways to do it so far. So we'll see here as Marcotte has it teed up for the Bulldogs to kick it away with a 20-0 Kilgore lead.
Woo. Listen to these fans, Sid Allen. They're stirred up and ready.
Kick is high, end over end. Wayne Blanton at his 12-yard line, cuts to his right and goes down. His knee hit back at about the 21 or 22-yard line. So again, some poor field position for the Lions to work with, and they'll have maybe 1 or 2 plays here to wind down the 3rd period and see if they can get some offense on track.
Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to get back in this ball game. And characteristically, they're famous for their ball control running. So they're going to have to mix them up now and balance their attack, and maybe a trick play or two and some passes. They've got a long road to hoe with a short stick here.
Jason Luce is going to be sacked. That's that young man, sophomore Jason Jonigan, coming in to sack Luce back at the 13-yard line, and that's probably going to wind down the 3rd quarter. But boy, did you see Jason Jonigan blow in here.
Oh, he was rolling like a big wheel in a Georgia cotton field. Look at him in the backfield. Wow, hits the quarterback down to the ground. That's determination. Wow.
And that's the end of the 3rd period here at R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium in Kilgore, Texas. At the end of 3, the Kilgore Bulldogs on top of the Henderson Lions, 20-0.
If you're looking for a cereal with a nutty difference, try Clusters. Clusters starts with crispy flakes, then adds crunchy nut clusters. With just the right touch of honey for a light, crispy, nutty taste. So if you want a cereal with a sweet, nutty difference, get your hands on some Clusters, if you can.
There are a lot of compelling reasons for buying a Dodge Ram. A potent line of Magnum engines, the most available towing of any pickup, payload capacity of up to 2.5 tons. But perhaps the weightiest argument is this. Dodge Ram has higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. the rules have indeed changed.
You know, if you were to look for something really delicious here in Nature Valley, it would have the flavor of fruit, not fat. That's it. Look right there.
Ah.
A low-fat, chewy granola bar with only 2 grams of fat. Luscious fruit taste. Chewy granola.
Mmm.
It's like finding a candy bar with the flavor of fruit, not fat. You can find it here in Nature Valley.
Since 1969, Billings Tire Company has earned the trust of East Texans by selling only quality tires like Michelin and Uniroyal. But tires are only the beginning. We keep your car on track with our 4-wheel alignment computer. And by installing Monroe shocks, you'll get added control over the road. At Billings Tire Company, we keep track of all service performed on your vehicle, leaving you worry-free. From trucks to vans, foreign or domestic, just call Jeff. Billings Tire Company, 1313 West Irwin, Tyler.
Final 12 minutes of action from R.E. St. John Stadium here in Kilgore, and the Henderson Lions undefeated coming into this ball game, really with their backs to the wall now, trailing 20-0 and backed up to their own 13-yard line on this 2nd down and 19. And this is Loose throwing out into the flat, and nobody there. Damon Reddick was the intended receiver, but he had cut up field a little bit farther than Loose through it, and it's going to bring up 3rd down now, 3rd and 19, Buzz, for the Lions back at their own 13-yard line.
One of those Bulldogs was all over the quarterback there. He just couldn't throw the ball. Did you realize, Sid, that tonight is Friday the 13th? And I'm sure there's some important ramifications somewhere, and I'll be back to you on that, Sid.
Well, here's Jason Loose, and he hands off, and good run here, but nowhere near the yardage needed for the first. Charles Alexander, the ball carrier for the Lions, and they're going to have to punt it away, I believe, from their own 20-yard line. I don't think they'll try anything at this point. 11 minutes and 35 seconds left in the final period, and Loose, of course, is their punter, and he is dropping back to kick it away. And J.J. Hablinski, and once again, you know, barring something unforeseen here, the Bulldogs are going to get some excellent field position.
Exactly. They are winning the battle of field position.
A good kick.
Watch
a good
this
high
kick. He'll catch it, too. Watch it.
Hablinski fields it at the 49-yard line, and so the Bulldogs are going to put it in play once again inside of Henderson territory.
Woo, listen to these Kilgore fans, Sid.
The Raging Red fans are loving it here as their team pulling off a big upset so far, 20-0 over the Henderson Lions, and a chance to make it even more as they only have half the field to go here. And Rafe Mata, who's had a great game, calling the signals for the Bulldogs at quarterback.
By the way, I'd like to thank our very capable statistician, Ace. You're doing a super job, man. Thanks a lot.
This is Kevin Mitchell turning the corner on the far side of the field and getting it down to the 40. Picked up good yardage down to the 40, a pickup of 9. And the officials now are going to spot it at the 41. So 2nd down and 2 coming up for the Bulldogs here. Watch Kevin Mitchell.
He gives Kevin Mitchell the deep end of the I formation. The blocks are there. And once he took off, he was long gone. One of those Lions had a hold of his jersey, slowed down his forward progress. If it wasn't for that, this Lion was holding on for dear life. Slowed him down, tackle made, good run.
2nd down 2. Lone setback is Zeke Williams behind Mata, so watch Zeke Williams get it here. And a good hole of the right side opened up, and Zeke Williams with a 1st down at about the 37-yard line. So I'll tell you what, if the Kilgore Bulldogs can just run it down the pike here, there's going to be nothing Henderson can do.
You bet you watch the deep man and the eye get the ball over the right-hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards. That's the name of the game. Sid Allen, ball control, keep it on the ground, run out the clock. They're going to win this football game if they can.